Alright, that was quick. Thanks to Volkor for getting everything done right. This match is going to be JoeMcDoug versus ImmortaLisk on ESV Cloud Kingdom. So we're going to start the game. And, yeah. So there's that. I'm not sure what rank these two guys are. Anyway, so there's that, and then, yep, so this is going to be pretty much the same matchup as you saw last time. Protoss and Zerg down in the bottom left-hand corner. But, we'll see what sort of different play styles they make. We'll see, you know? So we're just going to watch this for a second here. Looks like ImmortaLisk isn't going to go for the Forge Fast Expand. Looks like he's just going to go for the regular opening. Wall off this ramp here, do a little scouting. Our Zerg player went 6 pool, because why not? Fortunately, though, ImmortaLisk is going to see that with his wonderful scouting probe of scouting, and hopefully should be able to put a stop to this shenanigans. But we'll see exactly where he goes. I mean, you really don't like to see cheese in an inter-clan tournament, but since ImmortaLisk sees that the spawning pool is up, hopefully he'll be able to do something about it. So right now he's building his gateway, but there's about to be 6 lings on the way. So we're going to see, hopefully ImmortaLisk will be able to do something against these 6 lings, which will be his front door. It looks like he's walling off there, which is a good strategy to defend against the cheese. He's got a probe in the mix, and hopefully he's going to replace it with a zealot. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time, though, because this 6 lings are working their way across the map. So now that we have one gateway finished, a zealot is coming. It's going to be tough, though. You know, you really don't like to see this sort of things, and shame on JoeMcDoug, but, you know, a win is a win. If you can't defend against the cheese, then you can't play the game. I know personally, when I was laddering, there was so much cheese. It was just unhealthy, but, so right now we got the lings in there. The zealot, gets the run by. So right now we've got about 6 lings in the base with a zealot and some probes. So he should be able to hold this, but he's going to lose some harvesters in the process. Let me see. Units killed. Control R. Are 5 workers killed. So that's 6 lings, 5 workers killed. I mean, cheese is cheese, but, you know, it's a legitimate strategy. So we're going to see how ImmortaLisk manages to come back from this one. So it wasn't really an all-in per se, but it's still, he wasted a lot of early resources on it. So Joe is going to be at a disadvantage here going into the mid-game because there's 2 zealots on the way, scuttled by the queen, though. So all he's got to do is build a couple little zerglings, and he'll be all right. ImmortaLisk, you know, is down a little bit, but he managed to hold the Zerg, and he's recovering. Slowly but surely, Joe saw those 2 zealots coming. He's building a spine crawler. He's got a queen out, so, you know, those 2 zealots would be completely ineffective. I mean, if I was ImmortaLisk, I'd have just held those at my base. I wouldn't have necessarily sent them out, but we'll see what he wants to do with that. Can he get the 5 workers? It's 1 worker. That's 2 workers. Almost a 3rd worker. Yes, 3 workers. So a little bit of a trade-off there. I don't know. He's got that other zealot coming in, though. I don't know what one zealot's going to do. If I were Immortal, he's got to just hang back. He's building a Robo Bay, though, which is always nice. We can see the tech coming out. He's building a third gateway, so right now we got 3 gateways. Chrono Boost is just starting. And JoeMcDoug actually is a little bit of a disadvantage after the early cheese. He's got a Zealot in his base. Did he kill anything? Oh, well, 5 workers for 5 workers. So, you know, all of that for not much gain. So now we see JoeMcDoug is going down for a Roach Warren. Of course, the Robo facility coming out for ImmortaLisk is definitely going to be able to counter that, assuming he is able to get some Immortals out. He really should be trying to grab a second gas if he's going to go for a tech-heavy build. I mean, he's only got about 100 and some odd gas saved up there. So he's going to need a little bit more than that. But, you know, his wall is solid. He's got more gateways coming down. But his tech will be scouted by the Overlord. So I'd like to see him get a Stalker out or two to at least be able to fire behind the line. But I really think, you know, you should always be aware of the Zerg run-by. But at this stage of the game, he might be able to relax just a little bit. We can check the units counter. It's, you know, 22 to 21, not a big deal. There we go. ImmortaLisk is grabbing the second gas. Put out a Stalker to kill that stinking scouting Overlord. And is building a Observer. Always good. Now let's see. Yeah, he's building a Immortal. Now the only problem is that Immortal is just too fat to get out of that base. So he's going to have to kill one of these gateways. Wow, JoeMcDoug got supply blocked there by the death of that Overlord. So that's going to hold him back for a little bit. He did expand, though, and he is building a Spire. So we might see some Roach Muta play. Yeah. So we'll see what happens after that. Some more Stalkers coming out. So ImmortaLisk is a little bit ahead here. Not a huge deal. He's going to have to take down this Warp Gate, though. Not really something you want to ever have to do. But, you know, you got to get out of your base. So we'll see if he's going to replace that with something. So he's got a little bit of a small force here. I'd like to see him expand behind it, but it looks like he's going to go for a drop play. However, to do enough drops to be significant, he is going to need to get some more gateways out. And JoeMcDoug is supply blocked again, but he is building 16 Lings and getting boost. So we'll see what happens with that. So he's got a Spire, he's got a Roaches, he's got Lings, he's got a Spine Crawler going down there to protect it, but he's still supply blocked. So ImmortaLisk is able to pull further ahead. He's at 50. He's also supply blocked. He needs to build some pylons ASAP. But in terms of army composition, we have the Flying Shark. That shark has a Twitter account. See, that's the wonderful age we live in. The ESV Cloud Kingdom Shark has a Twitter account. But I digress. Observer, Stalkers, Zealots, and drop play. So I would like to see ImmortaLisk do sort of a two-pronged attack here. Ooh, we can see he's building a forward pylon by Mr. Proby over here, or the Probe. So we're going to see how effective that is against the Mutalisks, which are on their way here. That's a lot of Lings. I don't know. We'll see. So let's watch the drop here. It's going to be scouted almost instantly, so he's got a... Huh. I like it. And now he turns it into a Warp Prism, so he dropped in Warp Prism. So as long as he gets enough Stalkers out, he should be able to be alright. He's got to do some more damage, though. He's got to make sure he gets... He's going to get the Spire down. Now if he can get that Roach Warren down, it'll be pretty effective. Not the most effective drop, but he did draw attention away from his secondary attack here. That's a nice one there. You gotta watch the Immortal, though. He needs more Zealots out to suck up the damage, but we got a bunch of Stalkers there. So that was a pretty effective counterattack. He's gonna have to pull back a bit. He's gonna lose that Immortal, but he's got enough Stalkers. If he just focus fires, he should be alright. And if he maybe get another Warp in there, JoeMcDoug neglecting to take up a pylon. So now with this forward pylon, ImmortaLisk is able to definitely put some pressure on Joe lost his spire. He's not rebuilding. He's just building a couple more roaches. I like it. Joe still needs to expand, though. Yep, there we go. He drops the expansion a little late, 13 minutes into the game, but, you know, it is what it is. He needs a bigger economy to support all of these warpins, and he needs upgrades. He needs weapons upgrades. He needs them fast. We can see he's building a forge there. Hopefully he knows he's got to get some more upgrades. And now we're going to see a little bit of an attack. Maybe he's just sort of testing the waters. Both armies reasonably equal. Going to kill a couple of creep tumors. You know, more annoying than effective. But he's got to be careful, though, because as soon as he goes down that ramp, he could be bottlenecked in there. The roaches would get a nice concave surround on him, and he would be in trouble. Ooh, force fields, a nice touch. If he could trap some of the roaches at the mouth of that, he'd be alright. So we can see ImmortaLisk pulling ahead there. Joe, you know, he keeps losing overlords. He keeps being supply blocked. So we'll see what happens. So now the army, I don't know. I mean, the strategy's good. Let's check the APM here for a second. ImmortaLisk demanded his army is putting out a massive 160 actions per minute. 2 actions per second. Click, click. Ah, man, but if I were him, I'd just bust down the rocks. Because I think that's going to hurt him more than it's going to help him. But he's just got to kind of hang back and let some of his units get their shields back. It looks like he's going the other way. He's got to be careful, though, because if he loses that one front pylon, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. It looks like he was just checking for a third. So our Protoss player is successfully contained. He should be getting upgrades, though. I really would like to see him get more upgrades. He doesn't have any at the moment, but he's building a Twilight Council, so he might be going either High Templar or Zealot Archon, maybe. But you definitely want to have charge for your Zealots. Charge Lot Archon. I don't like to see this. ImmortaLisk is packing up and going home. It's not a... Actually, I would call it a bad strategy. He was able to put pressure on his Zerg player, and now he's left him alone. So our Zerg player is now free to expand. However, Joe is just... He's not really doing all that much. You know, he's not getting upgrades. He's not building more drones. Look at the unit count. It's 40 drones to 24. I mean, the Zerg player never should be down in drones. So now he's droning up a little bit, probably because he's stream cheating. Wink, wink. Ooh, Dark Shrines. Now we're going to see Dark Templar. All right, maybe I was wrong. So anyway, we really need to see Joe expand. He needs to do something. I'm not sure what he's even doing. He's not progressing per se. He's not moving into the late game with any sort of tier 3 technology. But, you know, he's got a decent enough army. He should really, you know, do something. So we'll see what Joe does, but our Protoss player continues to cannon up. Lots and lots of photon cannons, because sure. And now he's building a Dark Shrine. He's getting Blink. He's blinking a bunch of Stalkers. He's sort of working on his Death Ball. He's got an Observer over here. I really would like to see it parked on his enemy's base, though, just to sort of keep an eye on him. He lost his front pylon, not a big deal. He's got pylons everywhere. So Joe, finally, he's getting Zerg Flyer attacks. He's getting another Overlord. And now we see some Dark Templar come into play. So let's, you know, sort of, you can play Dark Templars 2 ways. You can just send them into the base, and if there's no detection, they can just start kicking. Or what you can do is you can try to mass them in size of a larger force, so that it looks like he just has a regular force, but all of a sudden your army's taking a lot more damage than it should be. But I still, you know, ImmortaLisk, he's got to work on his upgrades. But aside from that, this is going to be a really interesting engagement here. Is he going to blink up? Or is he, you know, he could use his Observer to sort of keep the high ground and then blink up. We'll see. He puts down the forward pylon. He could take all of those roaches if he wanted to. He's got to wait for that pylon to finish, though, so he can get to warp-ins. He wastes a blink, though. Sort of unnecessary. He should really wait for that pylon so he can make sure to get reinforcements. And also, he should use his Dark Templar to focus down the Spine Crawler. So now the pylon is finished. A whole bunch more Stalkers blinking in, warping in, and this is going to be very difficult for Joe to overcome, and it looks like he's going to call the GG on this one. So, not bad. I mean, Joe sort of, I think he was lost. I mean, if I had to if I had to ask him like a post-game interview, I'd say he got a little lost there. But